Kids Help Phone has been dedicated to helping youth across the country since 1989. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, even more people are reaching out to the organization for a listening ear. CEO of Kids Help Phone Kathy Hay joins me now to talk about how they're helping during this unprecedented time. So Kathy, how have things changed for you guys since the outbreak of COVID-19?
The COVID pandemic has changed the world right now. There's no question. We have a country in crisis. The world is actually in crisis. And when you think of things like that and a young person and their mental health and their well-being, it is equally as unsettling for them, if not more so, than it is for everyone. So we've seen, without a doubt, an incredible enormous increase in volumes of young people reaching out through our Gateway website, through texting, through phone. Actually, phone and text alone have doubled and then doubled again in the last month. So it's pretty extraordinary. And so silver linings everywhere. There are always silver linings. The silver lining from our perspective is as the volumes increase, we are able to increase our capacity to meet the needs. So we're there on the other side of the phone or the text, no matter what the issue is for a young person, small or large.
What kind of issues do you guys deal with? Can you help people with over the phone or text?
Yeah, it's a great question because what we want to make sure young people know is that we're here and that no issue is too small or no issue is too large. You've heard me say that, people hear me say that. I think it's also important for everyone to know that there is no real age definition here. You could be as young as 5, and they are as young as 5 that come and reach out to us, all the way through in texting to 26, 27. And even sometimes in texting, we get some adults because at 2 a.m, there actually is no other service nationally besides Kids Help Phone. So I just put that out there that we're here for everybody for any reason. Pre-COVID, I would have said to you that 20% of all the contacts to Kids Help Phone had some suicide ideation, self-harm aspect to the reason why they're reaching out. So quite acute and serious issues. That hasn't changed, but the reason why and what they're talking about has changed. We've seen obviously a huge uptick in young people calling and texting about COVID, about 400% in the last 2.5 weeks. So that is long after the pandemic broke out, but in the last 2.5 weeks, the impact of isolation and uncertainty is really being felt. So lots of conversation about COVID, being sick, words like fear, I'm afraid, worried about their mom and dad, worried about family. What if we can't, what if we don't have jobs? Those are the things that are worrying young people today, worried about their friends. And then all the way through to some very acute situations. In some regards, another silver lining is the calls and texts about bullying and cyberbullying are down through this. So that's a silver lining. Up about isolation and anxiety, which is spurred on by COVID, but it makes me no scientific beside, just as I'm hearing that bullying and cyberbullying is down, it's hooking into what I'm seeing in Canada about people trying to take care of each other. So perhaps silver lining is some more empathy and kindness that's pulled through.
So you had kind of touched on this before, but who is on the other end of the line talking these people through their issues and problems?
So on the other side of the phone, which anybody can reach anywhere in Canada, every province, territory, is 1-800-668-6868. On the other side of that is a professional counselor, and they'll work through a single session counseling session with anybody, any young person who reaches out. So that's important. If you need professional counseling, You do not have to wait till an appointment. You don't have to actually be scripted. Oh, here's a professional. You could just reach out to them. Again, doesn't matter what your reason. It could be because you're upset with your mom. That's a good enough reason to call. On our text, which is robust, it is on the other side of the text is a crisis responder. It is a trained volunteer on a very dynamic technology, so that all texting conversations are overseen in real time by a professional counselor. So you're never on your own. You have trained professionals and trained volunteers with you on the other side of the phone or text.
So, I mean, obviously your service is being used a lot. It was being used a lot before, but it's being used
Mhm.
even more now with everything going on. Why is a service like this so important to be able to provide for people?
Yeah, anytime the feeling that you're not alone is important, and that if you have some challenges and some issues, the reality is you might not talk to your mom or your teacher or your dad. You might not talk to anybody. So here is a place to go where you can talk through anything. Now, as isolation and uncertainty are even greater than whatever normal is. um, I think the whole thing is you're not alone. There is someone there 24 hours a day, every single day.